Christian Documentally.
What kind of time do you call this?
2 minutes late.
How's it going?
It's going awesome. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad at all, actually. Good to be home. I've been out and about all day. I've been in a meeting like you often do these kind of things. Didn't have my phone on the whole time.
Really?
I get a bit tetchy. People send me messages saying, "Are you okay? Are you alive? Have you been kidnapped? You haven't tweeted for 5 hours."
You can imagine how it goes in my world on the same basis.
Don't you have a clone? I thought you had someone that tweets even when you're asleep.
No. The corporate tweeting, but I do the personal tweeting. I think I might have gotten a little out of hand, which I might want to get your advice on. It might be an interesting piece. I learned about the magic underwear. And,
I actually saw, for some reason, I got an email that took me into the forsaken land of Facebook, which I try never to go to, but I couldn't help it because I saw the word magic underwear. And when I clicked on it, it was a reference to an actual thing. It was something to do with Mormon underwear pants. And I'm thinking, hang on, is Scott trying to take some tips and tricks from the Mormons and create magic underwear or something? Or are you going to sue them?
No, I'm not going to sue them. I'm not going to try and sell them because them through the church. I think I'd have a heck of a time coming out with a Scottevest version of magic underwear with my sole market being Mormons. But the kind of the dilemma of the day is that I was shocked to learn about. I've heard about magic underwear, and I thought it was kind of like an urban myth. So I did a little research starting with the Google and landed on Wikipedia. And what I learned is that, they are really required to wear, these garments all the time. And that every Mormon, and there are millions of them, by some estimates as many as 15 million of them, have to wear these all the time, day and night. And I went ahead and did some posts about that and got a little backlash. So the interesting part from a social media perspective is represent myself as me, and how to separate me from the brand, and isn't me transparent, part of who I am, to feel a right to express my opinion no matter how controversial that may be.
I think there's a number of things going on here. Number one, you broke the age-old taboo of don't talk about religion or politics at work, because no matter who you are, how smart you are, there will always be, I'm trying to word this carefully, some kind of fundamentalist opinion on one side or the other, creating some kind of clash here. Number two, I think you might have stumbled upon a conspiracy. If you were to start a religion tomorrow, and by no means do I mean to compare you to Joseph Smith, but wouldn't it be great if you just wrote in a law that people had to wear a certain item of clothing, and you can only get it from one place? Come on.
I like that business model. That's awesome.
Suddenly, the only requirement they need is to wear a particular uniform. I must admit, you only have to look at the Freemasons, for example. It's not easy to get hold of a Masonic apron. They're pretty ornate, quite interesting things with all kinds of symbolism all over them. But you can't get them at Walmart. You can only get them from other Freemasons who just so happen to have an apron shop. So in all seriousness, we're having some internal discussions about this very issue, and even dealing with politics, because I do have very specific opinions about politics, and I do have some specific opinions about religion, and frankly, although I was raised Jewish, I believe in religion. I'm agnostic, and I find that some of these
things are refreshing. The transparency is refreshing, and if the right in our country, in particular, is able to, in one case, this company called ChickfilA. This statement that gay people should never be allowed to be married, and the next day, their sales went through the roof because all the right wingers were wanted to support, and I'm sure they lost some left wing, but at the end of the day, they got more business. So the point wouldn't be necessarily to get business.
Yeah.
Sure,
I was momentarily trying to come up with the right wing, left wing chicken joke then, but because I was just pictured fried chicken, and that's probably the wrong way to go. For me, I don't know, if you're doing it from your personal account, and you constantly talk about different things, different fields of interest, different sphere of interest, and there is a differentiation between Scott's opinion that's personal and Scott's opinion at work, you're going to get into trouble speaking about religion anyway, but I don't see the problem. The thing is, it doesn't matter who you are, you will get attacked for and flamed and trolled when you start to get into conversations that are as sensitive as questioning someone's. You weren't, by the sounds of things and what I saw, questioning a belief system. You were just enabling a place for a lot of people to have a conversation that might have hit a sensitive nerve for some people going, hang on a second, I didn't know the story about that radiologist who believed his religious underwear was going to save him from radiation and then died at 51 of horrible radiation death. Because enough people are going to go, yeah, well, he was an idiot, wasn't he, for believing that these magical things work. Also, if you start mixing magic, which not a lot of people believe in the true term of magic, illusions, yes, in with even a religious conversation, you're going to get problems. So my advice would be, there's so many amazing things to talk about. You don't need to go down that alleyway, but what a fascinating experiment to see if you could turn it back into positive, because any reasonable person, if they realised you and knew who you were by looking at your account, would realise you don't have a malicious bone in your body. You only have to look at how you've kind of behaved in the public sphere in almost slightly hurt but joking way, where another company, iGear, completely take the piss in the cloning of your designed work over the years and all the little gadgets and gizmos that you have incorporated into your clothing. You haven't sent the heavy boys round. You haven't petrol bombed the house or, done any of the stuff. Not saying I would have, but I would have definitely have sat there writing a list of things that might be fun to do. So, I don't know.
I've got the list.
What's that?
I keep it right here, just whenever I feel it. Well, I appreciate your advice. I promised myself and Lo to keep this call within the confines of the half hour. So there are a couple other things that I wanted to catch up with you with. Number one is, how was the last video call received on your website? How do you feel about this relationship thus far? If
I thought about what we talk about, if I thought about it any more than outside of a conversation that we're having now, and how people might think about this conversation we're having, and that, I have kind of encouraged you to take a Skype conversation public in order that we can, I don't know, have a chat a little bit about your product, but not make it the focus or feature, more about how you use social media tools, then I'd probably censor some of the things I say. You've just reminded me, and you notice how I went all a bit disjointed over what I forgot. Yes, okay, this may or may not get posted online. I'm thinking if we do every conversation, it's going to probably bore me or you. An interesting thing did happen, though, and I don't know if it's connected to me kind of suddenly posting stuff to my YouTube channel, which has a corporate slant because I'm speaking now to the figurehead of a corporation. And I think more people should take their meetings publicly. Maybe we can start a craze. And that was, I posted a photograph to Instagram of a bottle of whiskey, my favourite bourbon. It's my second favourite bourbon. I actually prefer, are you making a note here? You've got a pen in your hand. I really, really like 18-year-old Elijah Craig, but you can't get that in the UK. So I have to settle with the normal, standard Elijah Craig. And I said online, the title was, When I Drink Bourbon, I Drink Elijah Craig. Straight away, more than one person came back and said, oh, are you sponsored by a whiskey company now? If only you would never see me again. I'd lock myself in a cabin somewhere. I posted it to Instagram and didn't tweet it because I wanted the edited image to then cross-post into Tumblr, where I would add the context. The context was, I bought 2 bottles when my best friend was kidnapped and rescued in Iraq. And I bought the 2 bottles to celebrate with him when I met him in the flesh. We drank one of them. I kept another one till we would meet again. He's gone missing in Syria. I haven't heard from his articles in the newspaper and his emails for more than a few days, which makes me think, where is he? Where is he? So I cracked the bottle. I took this photograph because it reminded me of the last time we were together. And I was toasting his health, hoping that I would come into contact, he would get internet connection to respond, or I would see his copy pop up in the newspaper. I was actually a little bit offended that people thought I was posting an advertisement.
I can't hear you. Can't hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Sounds like someone's having a
now I can hear you.
A fight outside.
Hello.
So what I'm saying is, I was a little bit offended that somebody may have thought that I would just blatantly post an advert that isn't a review, where I'm actually saying I was sent this by Elijah Craig. Like the way I start, this clothing was kindly donated or kindly sent to me by Scottevest. I'm hoping that's enough transparency, because it might be that you have to start putting sponsored at the end of everything, which is not a bad idea, but I don't know. Doesn't feel natural.
Well, please feel free to keep that form. Just as I'm concerned about my social media use, you are as well, and let's continue, that open forum. So what else was on? Did you get the Pinterest link, by the way, of the cars?
I did, and I very nearly, because I didn't realize it was going to come into my Pinterest boards. So now I've got Skyvest things you shouldn't carry in your jacket on my lovely, lovely collection of boards. And I thought, oh, I didn't realize I was going to have to look at it all the time. So I started Googling. And I stopped myself after about 3 Googles, because I thought, I'm going abroad in a minute. This is not going to look good. I was looking at all these weird illegal drugs that I could Pinterest into things you shouldn't carry in your Scottevest. And then I suddenly found myself Googling the weirdest narcotics. And I'm thinking, oh no, I'm going to be so flagged. So as yet, I haven't posted any weird and wonderful stuff on things I think you shouldn't put in a Scottevest. But expect weird.
I not only expect weird, I desire. So let's get to the core of the agenda. What did you have?
You'll be in London on October 3rd.
I'll be in London on October 3rd, tentatively.
Have you got a ticket now?
No, but I hope by tomorrow I will.
Look, this meeting changed 3 times. I'm going to wait for you to buy a ticket, and then I want to see the date.
I apologize about change of meetings.
I'm joking.
Okay. But no. I mean, it's the 26th through. We'll let you know. Don't set the date until we let you know. And
cool.
And just so you know, I mean, honestly, this trip started actually being. I was going to go to California for 4 days, and then I started thinking about what would I really like to do. And talking about it with my wife, and she doesn't like to travel with me. And I like to partake in all sorts of things that you put in your Scottevest that you were describing. And what city allows those sorts of things to happen legally? Amsterdam. I like to go to museums. So this started out as a 4-day adventure in Amsterdam by myself, at a nice hotel, and not really having any purpose whatsoever. And then while I'm already in Amsterdam, why not visit you and do some blogging and post? And so I'm going to go to
London. A working holiday.
What's that?
Like a working holiday.
Exactly. So
in Amsterdam, you're effectively looking for inspiration, creative ideas that might come to you whilst relaxing in a coffee shop.
Indeed, yes, indeed, indeed.
There's another shadowy layer of your personality I haven't come across.
And we shall. Pub in England, I imagine. So I mean, that's really what it amounts to. So I'd like to get, it's going to coincide with the introduction of the product that you inspired, and because I have to make my first sale of that product in England, I may very well take a picture of us, me selling it to me or selling it to a friend, to get the design rights that we need in England.
So are you saying that anybody ordering an item of clothing from you between now and a few weeks before October the 3rd, it possibly could have you deliver it by hand?
We've given that some thought, unless it would creep them out to have me and you just walking up to them and waiting a week around my schedule. We talked about that, and internally we thought that if someone orders something via Amazon and they're delivered via Amazon, to get a knock on the door from me, that could go sideways,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but I do want to use it as an opportunity to acknowledge your contribution, to this new product, this new feature, and use it as an opportunity to get to know you and do it, with you around town in London. And if you wanted to come with me for a day trip to Paris or beyond, we can discuss that as well.
Sounds a bit romantic, the Paris thing, but yeah, no, I mean, there's lots of options there. The concept of just maybe having an Epicurean dinner type get together with wine and food, where maybe people who are genuinely interested in what you do get a chance to have a look at the sizes, even a couple of garments. I don't know how big your luggage is going to be, but if you wanted to post anything to the UK, once we find a venue, it could just be sent right there.
Yeah, I don't want to carry around a lot of stuff, so I would definitely go with that option. And if you found that there was a pub a favorite pub of yours or other location that we should have like a Scottevest tweet up, and having exposed myself through your channel to your people, I'd be thrilled to do that.
Cool.
I mean, so there's a lot of different opportunities. I definitely want to have some fun and walk the streets and do something that a tourist would do in London, and do it properly.
Get mugged.
Do the Buckingham thing, and I don't know, all the typical things that you would do as a tourist. I was in London when I was about 12, and I still remember those memories. So I'm looking forward to that again.
That sounds great. It would be great to see you in the flesh, because at the moment, in my imagination, you are actually only 2.5 inches tall, either on Skype or on your website. So
you need a bigger screen. Press that big screen function.
MacBook Air, I'm afraid, tiny weeny little thing.
So I'm glad we'll firm up the details on that as we get closer, even as close as next week. We'll start to look at that. What else is on your list, love?
That was it.
Cool.
Oh, we actually
are we under time?
I assume that you guys would
just
continue
bullshit
babbling,
So
are you going to throw in an Easter egg at the end?
do we have a cute?
So it's still the same one that he had, the DOCU20.
DOCU20.
If anybody orders for the American site, DOC020 will get 20% off. I think we should not do that, because people will just skip to the end to get the free stuff. I know what they're like. It's like opening the cereal box, pulling out the toy, and throwing away the cereal. You need the nutrition.
The next call, I think we'll throw something a little better, just to test them, to see if they're really lasting to the end, not just 20%, something better, free shipping to Europe.
Better still, we use 3 keywords spoken at random times throughout the video, and if they pick up those 3 keywords and email them to Lauren, then they qualify.
That's a good idea.
Because that means they have to watch the whole thing. Let's talk about really boring stuff.
To them, to like in the middle of a conversation, Piccadilly, you know, it just, it just the 3 words that are clearly out of context.
Preferably English words, Scott, not American. What is Frickadilly?
Piccadilly Square.
Yes, the circus, Piccadilly Circus. I was thinking of the pickle, the yellow stuff, Piccalilli. It's popular, but not as popular as that.
Well, we had talked about before about redoing our What's in Your Scottevest contest, and you were going to give us some thoughts on whether you thought that was a good idea or...
Yes, I do think it's a good idea, and here's the tentative but. You gave me some golden tickets, so that should I bump into people who are, content creators, bloggers, people who like sharing their opinion about stuff online and would be keen to get their hands on some Scottevest gear, I've got those tickets. Which reminds me, I did give one out today, Lauren, to a guy called Breenster. B-R-E-E-N-S, Breen, S-T-E-R. Anyway, you'll get an email from him. He loves Scottevest stuff, and he would really like to do a video blog. Now, I think when a few more people have that, you'll get more of an impact when it comes to people in the UK, because you had such an amazing take-up from around the world last time you did this. But I'd like to see a few more people get involved in the UK, because I know that the prize, that because I kind of am loosely working with you now, I'm not eligible for, I know it's going to be a really awesome prize. And I'd love to see someone, from my side of the pond, bathe in the glory. So I want to make sure there's maximum.
We could have 2 winners. We could have a winner, or we could just do a UK version, but allow Americans to enter only if they do it with a Cockney accent. And you guys can laugh at us because
we can't even do them ourselves most of the time. There's not that many Cockneys left. They're going extinct.
So I don't know. I mean, I don't know. You're aware. I think you are that we did this contest called "What's in Your Scottevest," WIYS, and it was tremendously successful. We did it probably 4 or 5. And the idea was just turn on your webcam and just start unloading, and whoever had the funniest or most interesting or bit, and there was a guy in Britain, England, who did it. And we must have gotten 200 videos, each one of which was funnier and better than the next one. And that was 4 years ago, before we had quite the following. We had 55,000 paid likes on Facebook, and
who are you going to make to watch all of these videos? Am I thinking Lauren in the background already has her head in her hands going, oh my God, I've got to look at geeks all day emptying their pockets.
Funny. I mean, just Google WIYS, Scottevest.com forward. So we have yet to be able to capitalize on social media as well as we did on that experience 5 years later, and that we did on a shoestring budget.
Yep.
Much effort. So we're frustrated. So we're going to bring that back. Maybe something about that resonated with people. Obviously, one of the requirements for that was you have a Scottevest to pull stuff out of. But I think we should redo that for sure and see where it takes us.
No, excellent. And it's just finding the right time. I personally, I think after Christmas, when people have bought their Scottevests.
Maybe we lead up to that. That's an interesting thing. Just
maybe you can do a video. You can do a video announcing the competition before Christmas, and then at the end there is a list of requirements. Number 1, webcam. Number 2, item of Scottevest clothing. Once they've ticked both of those, they're sorted.
That's interesting. I like that. Maybe
tie it in with like the Black
Cyber Monday instead, just so that we can capitalize on it.
Yeah.
Do 2 versions. Just a Scottevest for yourself. What's in your and then what's in your friends. Encouraging them to buy one for their friend to do the video.
Scott, one thing I wanted to ask you about your love for animals and dogs in particular. Have you never made a dog coat with pockets in?
Are you talking for the dog itself?
For the dog itself, yeah, not a pocket to put a dog in.
Don't laugh. Do you know the world famous author Amy Tan, who wrote, among other things, the Joy Luck Club?
No, but carry on. I should do, but you cut out.
Very, very famous author, Amy Tan. Well, you know,
Amy
she
Tan.
has
Yes.
Amy Tan, Tan. Yes,
Yeah.
I'm sure you're. So she did in her What's in Her Scottevest. She did a video. Searched on YouTube, Amy Tam. She pulled out her little Yorkie. So there you go. You know, don't laugh about it. No, I mean, you know, I see no reason to put clothing on dogs.
This is different. This is utility clothing. A lot of pack dogs do carry emergency supplies. What about the St. Bernard? It carries a flask of brandy around its neck. That's not a good screen grab. That looks very wrong. I said someone's gonna edit me saying love for animals, that image, and it's gonna be a song. You've got to be more careful, Scott.
No, sorry. I'm uncontrollable. I need a film. Sorry. Cool, she's above age, though. She, you know,
in dog years.
Yeah, well, yeah, in dog years. And, you know, and when I go to Amsterdam, there'll be all sorts of crazy stuff. So, you know, we'll just look. I'm sorry.
Don't take a video camera.
Yeah. I mean, here,
fantastic. I don't know how many minutes are we at now. I'm conscious of boring the life out of people, but
we're at 28.
Cool. Well, is that the same dog just had a quick tan?
No, this is another dog. Okay. We have 4.
Look at the love. Or is that a licking you? Please put me down. You've got 4.
All right, so we'll talk later. I think we've covered a lot, and I'll send you that picture of Romney in his magic underwear in case you need that for reference.
Okay, I didn't realize there was Romney involved as well. Politics and religion.
Politics and religion combined.
Only you, Scott.
Take care, Christian.
Nice one. Cheers, Scott. Bye-bye.